Today I'm going to show you how we go from this to this. So grab some popcorn, grab a drink and get ready for a fun build. So first things first, let's put down a platform. That should be big enough for now. So the first thing we're going to look at is miners. And as you can see here, I've just plonked them down, run my lines up to the platform and then into the smelters. We're going to focus on this bit first. Instead of just plonking them down, we're going to do something a little different. So now that we've put them on a platform, it looks so much better already. So let's work out how much we're getting and set it up top. So I changed the miners for Mark IIs. So we get 150 resources out of each one. And I've given them a Mark III belt to be able to carry them. Just giving it a bit more of a neat look to it. All on a platform. It steps up there because the grass comes through, so I decided to step it up just one, bring all the materials to this location, and now we have our inlet for materials. So next we're going to look at the smelting. So here we've got there's materials coming in and one line per smelter, just lined up, smelting and then distributing offwards. So we're going to make a neater version of that and try and get a bit more creative with it. So I came up with this design. We have 20 smelters because we need to feed 5 from each 150 that we're bringing in. I've put them all in lines, but I've dropped the center and brought out all the conveyors, and I have a wall of lift. So instead of going with the usual plan of merging all the lines together, I've kept the lines separate purposely for the aesthetics of this center area. So next, let's look at how we're going to connect these to this. Okay, so I decided to load balance them instead of the manifold system because I think it'll look better and I want it to be 100% efficient. So that's what we've gone with. We've got 2 inlets this side and 2 inlets this side. Let's hook it up and see what it looks like. So I've put the lines in. I've decided to bury them just underneath the surface of where we'll be walking and stuff because I have an idea on aesthetics for later. But I didn't want the lines running straight across and just in. So what I've done is I've adjusted this. Instead of them coming to this platform here, they're going underneath and they're going around to the back, feeding up behind where we have our huge elevator and running 2 lines each side just underneath the ground. So our next step's going to be iron rods, screws and plates. And once again, we're not going to go with the basic just plonking them down. We're going to get a bit more creative with it. So as you can see, I've built a second floor and I've run 6 lines off each end to do rods. And then we're probably going to build another floor to do our plates and screws. But I'm just worried about this guy. So I might have to change it up a little bit. But I've done 6 and 6 and I've left 8 for the plates because you get less plates out of ingots. And I've used a basic manifold system because we're only splitting into 2s, which makes it still really fast and efficient. So now I'm going to figure out where I want to put the screws and the plates, and I'll start on that. Okay, so I decided not to go with another level just because of how low this flies, and decided to put the rods that I made here into screws right next to it. Now, these are clocked up to do 80 per minute from 20 rods per minute. So I've got 8 this side, and I did that because the rest of my lines make plates, which is exactly 8 again. So it's basically matched on both sides. And that gives us our rods, plates and screws. I've got to figure out now how I'm going to get my rods out from this location and my plates and my screws and put them into a storage area. What I did here is with the 8 lines, I paired them all up and I ran a secret line just down underneath the ground here, which runs all the way around and comes out here where this is. So now that that is all up and running, we need to set up the storage area. So I've decided to hide them under the floor and put them down this side and fill up storage here. So I've matched the same platform on the other side and thinking maybe we could use this as an entryway. So now that the storage is set up, we need to start getting down to some aesthetics. So we'll start with the main floor. So let's have a look at what we did on the bottom floor. So first off, I started off in the center area and just run some walkways running around that give you access to 2 doors onto each side, and put some lights in along each side as well, just to light it up at night time. And we've got his elevator there that goes up that wall. At the front, I just did some posts, nice glass window in the middle, some glass panels on the side, and then you've got access to each side from here. On the sides, I just did some walkways that run around with glass flooring here, just so you can see the materials coming in. A little cornered off area where we're splitting all the materials, and exactly same on this side with the lighting on both sides just to light up the area. At the back here, there wasn't much to do. We have some area where you can see the materials coming in. Did 2 walkways running across from each door at the back, and then a glass walkway, and decorated the walls just a little bit, and then we have the stairs that lead you up to the next floor. So we have the second floor to do yet, but first, just before we do that, what I'm going to do is give the building some shape, because we have nothing at the front, nothing as in a roof on top, and I've got to work on this side here just to see what I can do there. So I will create some shape for this building first, and then I will come back to you. So as you can see, I've done some quick shaping up of the building, and I've covered this area, And what I've done is I've matched that on this side, just so it's even. Some roofing areas and things like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to decorate this whole front area, the top roof area, and then the back. And once we've done all that, the sides and everything, we will move on to decorating each room on top individually. And I'll see you when I get to that stage. So now that we've got the exterior done, I've done the front and the sides, the top and the back. Now that we've got the exterior out of the way and it's looking somewhat good, we can move on to the inside and start working on the second floor. So this is the current state of the second floor. As you can see, it's just bare minimum. So we're going to start working on that. Again, I will time lapse it from one side and then I'll time lapse the other side for you to watch. And then once I've done that, the build will be done and we will run it to see how it performs. But before we get to that stage, let's do the time lapse. So that's the top off complete, and all I've done is I've boxed them off with windows so you can see inside. We've got another walkway that hangs just over the edge of the center there, and put some lights in, some walkways to take you around the back, which ultimately just shows you more of inside. Now the stair access around the back here is where you get upstairs. You come up and enter this room, and then you can walk around the top of it, and there's another stair access to the other side. So the only thing left to do now is to switch it on. Now that is just so satisfying to watch. Everything seems to be running just fine. So let's just check and see. Oh yeah, it's coming through. So that's how I go about my building process. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and a like, a comment, and maybe even subscribe. But until next time, bye bye.